Hello everyone, welcome to this short presentation on one of the important concept of Doppler shift in radar system. We know that the radar systems are commonly used for the detection of the stationary object, but you will find that the radar system can also be used for the detection of the objects that are in motion. So continuously moving objects can also be detected and their relative velocities can also be easily find out by using radar systems. In this presentation, we are going to discuss one important concept that is being used in such detection, and that is being called as a radar Doppler shift in radar. So let us understand what we mean by the Doppler shift in radar system. Now we know that the targets that are in motion can be detected by using the radar systems. And such radar systems are called as the moving target indicator radar system. The targets that are in motion, such as car or aeroplane, can be determined by using the radar systems. You will find that in case of stationary object, when the pulse is transmitted from the radar transmitter, then the phase of the transmitted pulse and the phase of the reflected echo pulse is same, isn't it, for the fixed targets. But this is not the case in case of moving targets. You will find that in case of moving targets, the phase of the echo pulse goes on continuously changing. And this happens because the distance to the target is continuously changing. This phenomenon was initially explained by the scientist Doppler, and therefore his name Doppler is being given to this effect, and this effect is being commonly known as the Doppler effect. You must have been observed in your real life that if you have been at the railway station and suppose you are standing stationary and suppose there is a train coming towards you, and suppose the train is making the horn continuously, and you will find that the sound of the horn that you hear is when the train approaches to you or when it passes to you far away from you, you will find that the sound that you hear will go on changing. This happens because the pitch of the sound that you hear goes on changing. Now, as shown in this small image, isn't it? Suppose there is a police car making a horn continuously, and suppose this is the person who is standing near to the car, and this is the person who is standing far away from the car. Now you will find that this person will receive a signal of small wavelength, and therefore the frequency of this signal will be higher. This person, since he is far away from this car, you will find that this person will receive a long wavelength, and therefore the frequency of this signal will be comparatively low. The change in the phase of the reflected echo pulse occurs because there is a change in the frequency of the echo pulse, and you will find that this change in the frequency is called as a Doppler shift. This concept of Doppler shift is used in the moving target indicator radar system. Now suppose if you want to calculate this change in the frequency, then it can be easily calculated as shown in the next slide. As shown in the slide, this delta F represents the change in the frequency, and we know that this delta F is proportional to the change in the phase delta phi. Delta phi represents change in the phase, delta T represents the change in the time. Now you will find that this delta phi can be replaced by this equation, 2 into 2 pi delta D upon lambda, where delta D represents the change in the distance. You will find that this 2 pi will get cancelled, and ultimately we will get the change in the frequency, that is delta F is equal to 2 into twice delta divided by lambda into delta T. But we know that the change in the distance with respect to the change in the time is called as the velocity. And therefore, this formula can be written as twice Vr upon lambda, where Vr will represent the relative velocity. That is, if we are able to note the change in the frequency, then you can easily calculate the relative velocity of the target. And this is the basic principle that is being used in the moving target indicator radar systems. Probably in another session, we will discuss what we mean by this moving target indicator radar system. So thank you friends for viewing my presentations. And as I say earlier, that if you want to make some comments, isn't it, then you can always make some comments and write to me so that I can improve on my delivery. Thank you all.